Last year, electric vehicle sales were supposed to take off, but just 10% of Americans say they plan to buy one, while 70% are sticking with gas. The ads never mention that electric vehicles average 48% more quality problems, and they cost $1,300 more per year to insure. Why have so many early adopters been caught off guard by these harsh realities? The problem with electric cars goes far deeper than anyone admits. The reasons may change how you think about your next car, starting with the hidden costs buyers face from day one. Car buyers are facing a very different reality than the one promised in glossy commercials. While electric vehicles generate headlines and dominate dealership showrooms, only 10% of Americans now say they plan to buy one. A full 70% report their next car will be gas-powered, despite mounting pressure from automakers and regulators. The numbers reveal a stark divide between global trends and the United States market. Electric vehicles have reached 25% market share worldwide, but in the United States, they sit at just 7.8%, less than a third of the global average. For those who do take the leap, the experience often does not match the hype. The 2024 J.D. Power Initial Quality Study found that electric vehicles average 266 problems per 100 vehicles, compared to just 180 for gas-powered cars. That is 48% more reported issues, and it is not just minor glitches. Owners of electric cars are heading back to the dealership for repairs 3 times more often than those driving gas vehicles. The brands at the bottom of the quality rankings, Rivian, Tesla, and Polestar, are all pure electric manufacturers, despite their reputation for cutting-edge technology. These reliability gaps are not a footnote, they are shaping the entire market. When buyers see early adopters struggle with persistent faults and frequent service visits, confidence in the technology falters. The promise of a seamless electric future is colliding with the reality of inconvenient breakdowns and disappointing ownership experiences. This disconnect is driving hesitation, even among shoppers who want to support new technology. Sticker shock hits many new electric car owners at the insurance counter. The average annual premium for an electric vehicle in the United States now stands at $4,058 per year, 49% higher than the $2,732 average for a gas-powered vehicle. That is an extra $1,326 every year, before even factoring in registration or maintenance. The reasons behind these soaring rates are rooted in repair complexity and cost. Insurance companies report that fixing an electric vehicle costs nearly 47% more than repairing a gas model. The average electric vehicle repair takes more than 15 days, compared to about 13 days for a gas car. And with more intricate electronics and expensive battery systems, even minor accidents can lead to major claims. Insurers also see a higher volume of claims from electric vehicle drivers, 17% more on average, which drives up rates for everyone in the risk pool. The pain is not spread evenly. In states where electric vehicles are rare and qualified repair shops are scarce, premiums spike much higher. In Alabama and Pennsylvania, drivers face insurance rates nearly double those for gas cars. Arkansas and Idaho show similar jumps, with some quotes coming in at almost twice the cost. Meanwhile, states with more electric vehicle adoption, like California and New Jersey, see smaller gaps, 15 to 30%, thanks to greater competition and repair infrastructure. For many buyers, these hidden costs wipe out the expected savings from lower fuel and maintenance bills. What looks like a clean break from the gas pump often comes with a hefty, recurring bill that few see coming until after the purchase. Every time an electric car rolls into the shop, a new challenge begins. Only about 3,100 technicians in the United States, just 1.4% of the workforce, are certified to work on electric vehicles. That leaves more than 56,000 dealership service positions unfilled across the country, according to industry estimates. For service managers, the shortage means repair bays sit idle while cars stack up waiting for someone with the right training. Routine fixes for gas vehicles often take a day or two, but electric models can linger for weeks, sometimes over 2 weeks before a qualified technician is even available. Collision repairs highlight the problem. The average repair bill for an electric vehicle after an accident is $5,753, nearly $1,000 more than the average for gas cars, which is $4,806. The gap is driven by both parts prices and labor. High-voltage battery systems require specialized tools and safety protocols, so even simple repairs can turn into multi-day ordeals. Service managers describe the scramble to schedule staff qualified to work on electric vehicles, juggling training sessions, and overtime just to keep up with demand. Owners feel the impact every time their car is sidelined. What might be a quick fix for a gas vehicle can mean days or even weeks of lost mobility for electric vehicle drivers. The bottleneck is not just a nuisance. It adds real costs, fuels insurance hikes, and erodes confidence in electric cars as daily drivers. For many, the promise of seamless ownership is quickly replaced by frustration as their vehicle sits waiting in line for scarce expertise. On a January morning in Wisconsin, an electric crossover sits in the driveway, its battery reading a full charge. The owner, like thousands across the upper Midwest, faces a silent problem that does not appear on the sticker price. At 32 degrees Fahrenheit, the range drops by nearly a quarter, down to just 78% of what is promised on a warm day. When the temperature falls to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, it slips further, with only 70% of the battery's power available. Short trips with frequent stops and the heater running can cut usable range in half. For drivers who rely on their car for daily commutes, school runs, and errands, the numbers are impossible to ignore. A Canadian survey of 16,000 electric vehicle owners found that 65% experienced reduced winter range, and more than half said they prefer gas cars for winter travel. The reality hits hardest after a fresh snowfall when the battery drains faster just to keep the cabin warm. Unlike gas vehicles, which use waste engine heat, electric cars must pull energy directly from the battery for warmth, compounding the loss. Winter conditions change the equation. The weight of the car adds another layer. Electric vehicles are about 30% heavier than their gas counterparts, thanks to battery packs that often weigh over 1,000 pounds. The GMC Hummer EV battery alone weighs 2,900 pounds. That extra mass wears down tires up to 20% faster. Tire particle emissions are projected to rise sharply, with some studies warning that by 2044 they could account for 40% of airborne particulate matter. For families in cold climates, these hidden penalties make every winter journey feel like a gamble. And every extra repair or tire change adds to the worry about long-term costs and resale value. Rows of electric cars line the used lot, each one a reminder of promises that didn't hold up. The manager scans the inventory sheet and shakes his head. Values have dropped faster than anyone expected. A 2023 Tesla Model Y, once a $60,000 showpiece, now sits with a sticker price barely above $34,000. That is a 42% loss in just 2 years, while a similar-age Ford F-150 lost only half as much. The numbers get uglier when entire fleets are involved. Hertz, after buying 100,000 Teslas, reported $2.9 billion in losses and dumped 30,000 electric vehicles at half price. In India, Blue Smart drivers watched their $12,000 rides become $3,000 liabilities almost overnight. Even rare battery failures can turn a car into a financial black hole. A replacement can run from $5,000 to over $20,000, and recycling rates lag far behind. For many, the risk of buying electric is no longer just about the unknown. It is about the math. Federal support for electric vehicles collapsed overnight when the $7,500 tax credit expired on September 30, 2025. Within weeks, quarterly electric vehicle sales fell 46%, and market share slipped from 8.1% to 7.8%. General Motors responded by announcing a $6 billion write-down tied directly to its electric vehicle business. Meanwhile, the government's $5 billion NEVI charging program, which was supposed to deliver 500,000 public chargers, built just 8 stations before the Department of Transportation froze the program in February 2025. 16 states and Washington, D.C. filed lawsuits, claiming the infrastructure stall left millions without practical charging options. Behind the scenes, battery supply chains raised new questions. Over 70% of the world's cobalt is mined in Central Africa, often under poor labor conditions, and extracting lithium from South American salt flats demands 500,000 gallons of water per ton. The promise of an electric future is colliding with policy setbacks and ethical costs that cannot be ignored. Today, the promise of electric cars collides with the reality of cost, infrastructure, and unresolved supply chain impacts. As technology races forward, consumer trust lags behind. The real test is not adoption, it is whether the industry can deliver practical solutions before buyers simply stop waiting. What is your verdict?